Hi everyone, I'm hopeful that all you'll be fine. In the last session, we have discussed all the options which we have sectionized in the meeting journal. Okay, so we have discussed all the limitations and all the available set of values for those. We have also discussed what the rules are applied on the fields, what value we can set. Okay, so all the things we have discussed regarding the journals in the last session. Okay, so if you are a new here then and you are also interested to learn regarding those, then just watch this session from the Zoom Webex integration playlist. Okay, so we keep continuing with the advancing with the meeting payloads, and in this session we will learn how what are the limitations and what are the set of values we can set to the meeting security and privacy section. Okay, so in the security and privacy section you can see here we have a first field called password. So for the password, the first thing is that you must be first confirm the password management setting. Okay, now what is the password management rule you have set it on a site. Okay, so you have a site on a Webex, just navigate there and there is a section called password management. Inside there you must be first review that what the password complexity rule you have set it. Okay, then you can set the value for the password. If the user have not set it any password complexity rule, then the automatic or auto generated complexity rule will be applied. Okay, and the next field in the security and privacy section, we have allow any user to be co-host. Okay, so that means if you are going to assigning a privilege to an attendee that he can be joined inside the meeting as a co-host. Okay, but the thing regarding this, the limit upon that field is that both user must rely on a same site. Okay, so let's suppose you have a site for organization, and inside that organization the user who is going to on that account, whose account this meeting is going to be hosted scheduled, on that account the co-host user must be also have a host account. Okay, so both users have a host privileges, so then you can enable that this field. Okay, and for the ad hoc meetings, this allow you any user to be co-host option by default is true, and all the other, if you are going to set the false for the ad hoc meetings, then the value will be rejected and not set it for that. Okay, so the for the ad hoc meetings, allow any user to be co-host by default true, and that will be always true. You cannot false that. Okay, or you cannot disable that. Okay, and the next field inside the meeting security and privacy section, we have a called enabled join before host. Okay, so that means if you are going to allow any attendee to be to join the meeting before the start of meeting, or either you are going to allow the attendee to join meeting before host joining. So you can set that by setting this value to true. Okay, that means you are allowing the attendee to he or she can be joined inside the meeting before meeting is started, either the before host joining. Okay, so by default the value of this field for the ad hoc meeting is true. Okay, and you cannot change that to false. Okay, and the next field inside the security and privacy, we have a called enable connect audio before host. Okay, so that means if you are going to allowing the attendee that the audio device of that attendee or participant will be uh, enabled or active before the host join. Okay, so this option will be active, or we can use that feature if we have already enabled join before host option. Okay, so if this option is true, then this field will work. Okay, then you can set a true, and that will work. If you have false enable join before host, then if you are and either you are going to then you are going to set this enable connect audio before host to true, and that will not work. Okay, and by default the value of the ad hoc meeting for this option will be always true. You cannot change that to false. Okay. And next field inside the security and privacy, we have joined before host minutes. Okay. So inside that, you can set limit in the time in the form of time in the form of minutes. Okay, that how long you are setting that the participant or attendees join inside the meeting. Okay, before host joining, that means you are setting a time frame. Okay, so for that field you can set values from this set. Okay, so you either can set 0, so by default value is 0. Okay, and you can also set 5, 10, and 15. You can only pick one value from this set. Okay, and outside value, if you are going to set the value which is not lie in the set, then you will get an error. Okay, and the next field inside the security and privacy, we have a exclude password. Okay, so exclude password, that means if you are going to excluding the password field from the email invitation. Okay, so if you have set the invitees inside the meeting and you do not want to share the password of that meeting inside the invitee, then you can set this exclude password to true. Okay, and for the ad hoc meeting, this option will not work. Okay, so it is useless for there. Okay, and the next option or next field regarding the security and privacy inside the meeting creation payload, we have a public meeting. Okay, so that means if you are allowing this meeting which you are going to create uh, will be listed on a public calendar. Okay, so if you set to true, then the meeting will be allowed by the attendee or participant public calendar to be listed. Okay, and if you are going to setting the false, then meeting will be not able to be listed on the public calendar. Okay, so for the ad hoc meeting, this option is by default false, and you cannot apply true on that. Either we can say you cannot enable that on ad hoc meeting. Okay, and next field or next feature we have regarding the security and privacy, when we are going to create a meeting inside the payload called unlocked meeting joint security. Okay, so that means that how you are allowing the participants for an unlocked meeting, that how you are going to allowing that to join inside the meeting. So for that we have three different values. One is allow join. Okay, and if you are not setting any value, then allow join is default value. Okay, neither you can set join, allow join with lobby. Okay, either you can say block from join. Okay, so by default value is allow join. Either you can set allow join with the lobby. If you are setting here allow join with the lobby, then the unlocked meeting participants will wait in the lobby, and once host can add those inside the meeting. So host have a privilege to add those participants inside the meeting. They cannot directly join inside the meeting. But you have set it allow join, that means directly the participant can be participated or joined inside the meeting. Okay, and block from the join, that means the only invited person can join inside the meeting. No else participant will be allowed to join the meeting. Okay, and for the ad hoc meeting, by default value is allow join with the lobby, and you cannot change for the ad hoc meetings. You cannot set any other value for that. Okay, so ad hoc meeting by default value is allow join with the lobby, and that's final. You cannot change any value. If you are going to set any value, then that value will be ignored and not set it by the API. Okay, and the next field inside the security and privacy section we have called enable automatic lock. That means you are going to enabling or disabling the meeting lock once meeting is started. Okay, so you can set their settings if you are going to set true or false for the disabling and enabling the locking feature of the meeting. Okay, for the ad hoc meeting, this option is by default false, and you cannot change that to true. Okay, and automatic lock minutes, inside that you can pass a value in the form of integer. Okay, and the automatic lock minutes will be applied once meeting is started. Okay, only the time between the start and end time. Okay, and by default for the ad hoc meeting, this option is a null and you cannot set any value. If you are going to pass any value, then that value will be ignored. Okay, and the next field inside the security and privacy, we have allow first user to be co-host. Okay, so that means by enabling and disabling or passing true or false value inside this field, you are setting, you are telling the API that, and you are enabling the feature regarding the attendee that he can be joined to be a co-host first user. Okay, the first attendee. That means someone have a joined firstly and he's a not host, then that will be considered as a co-host. So you can enable or disable that feature by setting value true or false. Okay, in the type of boolean, and by default the value for the ad hoc meeting for this field is false and you cannot change that to true. Okay, and allow authenticated devices is the last field inside the security and privacy section. Inside that you can also set true or false for the already authenticated devices. So let's suppose inside the organization you have devices which are authenticated already, and you do not want those users or participants who are going to join from those authenticated devices will receive a prompt. Okay, regarding allowing. Okay, so you by default, you if you are going to set a true, then that prompt will be not visible on their screens. Okay, for the ad hoc meeting, this option or this field will by default value false and you cannot change that to true. By default the value for ad hoc meeting is true and you cannot change that to false. We need to start the API. For that we need to open the terminal and we say here npm start, and now we need to send the request. Send. Let's see what in the response. I think so we first need to authorize. I was expecting that. So API Webex authorize. Okay, we are successfully authorized. Let's copy the payload and paste that payload. Okay, so we copy that from here, and we first need to open the Postman, and inside the learn with Nick we have a Webex meeting. So here we just comma, and we first need to remove the comments. Okay, save those, just remove this last one, remove from here, here, and here. So we need to set those. Okay, now we are going with the default password and we are setting, either we can set allow any user to be co-host to true. Okay, either we can set allow first user to be co-host. So if we are going to setting both as a true, then we will get an error. So we can only set one option to be true. Either we can set this one, either we can set this one. Okay, so we are setting this one. Okay, and join before host, we are also setting this to true, and we are leaving this enable connect audio before host to false, and join before host minutes, we first need to check whether what time in duration of that meeting. So what time span we have scheduled for the meeting. So it is 30 minutes. So we can set here 10 minutes. So join before host 10 minutes, and we are just also, and also we are going with the exclude password false, either we can set true. So public meeting false. Okay, allow with join lobby, we are going with this, and enable automatic lock, we first need to do that. Okay, If we are setting automatic lock minutes, then this option must be true first. So we now set here 10 minutes. Okay, and I think all set. And we have a running API, we have a breakpoint. Now let's send the request. Payload is received, continue. Okay, so we have successfully created the meeting. Okay, and now here you can see enable automatic lock is true, join connect before host true. Okay, so this is true, then by default this is true. Okay, you can see here, and the enable join before host is true, and exclude password is true, we have set it that to true. Okay, and I think all the fields as we have posted, and we have successfully created the meeting as per our security selected options, security and privacy related fields or options. Okay, so I'm hopeful that you have enjoyed this session. If you have any query regarding session, then just please share your queries inside the video comment section. Either you can share your queries and suggestions by my shared contact details. So hopefully we will come back with another session regarding the next section about the meeting payload. Take care. Bye bye.